made it to San Fran, took an interesting flight. I just talked about this on Instagram stories, how I love being a poor traveler. There's so many pros to being a poor traveler. I love sitting in the back row. You're right next to the bathroom. When you're getting off of the flight, nobody's budging in front of you to get off the flight. It's just like very peaceful. A lot of times the seats around you aren't taken. They're like the last ones to be taken. The snacks, you get like 400 extras. I just love being a poor traveler. So I made it. Linnea grabbed me from the airport. We're here getting gas now. And then I'll check in with you later. We didn't really do much that evening. We just went to a Mexican restaurant called Whacky for dinner. And then we came back to Nick and Linnea's apartment and we watched a show called Sexy Beasts, where people dress up in prosthetics as animals. And they go on dates and they find love. So this is the beginning of my series for this video called What Did We Watch? The next morning we got up and took pictures in downtown Campbell for a brand that I am working with. And then we went over and got coffee and croissants. Good morning, my friends. We are in downtown Campbell this morning. We just went to Orchard Valley Coffee and Manresa Bread to get a croissant, a pain de chocolate. And we are heading to Half Moon Bay, which is a place that Linnea and I have been to before. They have like pumpkin patches and there's like a coast. It's kind of like a coastal line area. So we're gonna go see a lot of the coast. We're gonna do a pumpkin patch. We're just gonna do a lot of fall things, because one thing I talked to Linnea about is just doing fall related activities. I have been gone, as you know, as you've seen in videos, I have been gone. This is my third state in 3 weeks. So 2 weeks ago, I was in Illinois for my cousin's baby shower. Last week, you saw on the Boston vlog, I was there on the East Coast, and now I'm here in California. So I have not done anything fall related, and I need to catch up on my activities. And Linnea loves like a pumpkin patch. She loves an apple orchard. She loves to bake. Like, we love fall related things. So we are heading to Half Moon Bay next, and we're just gonna go up the coastline. So that'll be what the following videos are. And then we kind of talked about Linnea's friend Carolyn, who I guess also is my friend, I should say it that way. Carolyn and Edon live here, and Carolyn was going to join us possibly for thrifting later, or maybe we'll go out to dinner. I don't really know what tonight looks like. We're just kind of playing it by ear. So you guys will remember Carolyn from the Bachelorette video, but she'll be back tonight, and I'll catch up with you guys later. We drove up to Half Moon Bay and went to Farmer John's Pumpkins. For some reason, this monster truck was the main focal point of this place, so we went to go check it out. And it was pretty neat.
I don't know if somebody did this on purpose, but he looks like he's like...
He really is, he's really been through it.
He's really been through it.
And this is where Linnea's search for the perfect pumpkin began. It took about 20 minutes, but we did eventually find one.
We gotta name her.
What would you name her? Introduce her.
I don't have a name for her. Gordella.
Gordella? And thus, Gordella was adopted and brought home with her parents. On the way home, we stopped at a place called Cafe Society for a little lunch. Once we were back at the apartment, we decided we wanted a little pick-me-up, so Linnea started making a maple oat beverage iced coffee thing. It was very good. But we sat and we talked about our dreams for the future and how we don't want to live in corporate America forever. After our emotional chat, we went to downtown Campbell. I went to a place called Redemption where all the items are ethically and sustainably made. And I met one of the workers. Her name is Amelia Easley, and she has a podcast called Sustainability Of, which is really good. You should go give it a listen. That evening we watched a show called Is It Cake? And the premise is just this. People look at pedestals with items on them, and they decide if they're real items, or if they're cake. The next morning we got up and got ready. I did a little outfit of the day video, but it never made it to TikTok, so please enjoy it here. And then we hopped in the car and we made our way to San Francisco. We met our friend Joe there. He was dog sitting this cute little puppy. Oh, made me miss Jury. And then we discussed a 20-year-old crime that was being resolved in real time in the Bay Area while I was there. I don't have time to put this all in the video, but go look up this man. He is crazy. One thing to know about Joe is that he is the king of San Francisco. This man lives, breathes, loves SF. He can tell you where to go, the best experiences, best meals, where it's safe. He loves the weather. I don't know if he'll ever leave. The first place he took us to was a coffee shop called Sextant Coffee. It was really good quality and just tasty. And then we dropped the dog off and we made our way to a place called Mr. East. This is a great example of Joe going above and beyond. When I think of breakfast, I would think like all American. He brought us to a Thai and Vietnamese breakfast spot. Then he brought us to a place called Salesforce Park. And basically what it is an elevated park ground in the middle of the city. They literally took a park, elevated it up a couple stories, and you go up an elevator and you walk around in the midst of these skyscrapers and city life. And you're in the middle of a park in San Francisco. We did hit up a local indoor market, but our time was really limited because we had to get back to prepare for Edon and Carolyn coming over, so we did head back after this. We went back to the apartment and we barely survived the San Francisco roads. Like, how did we live through that? And we started making snacks and a charcuterie board and some treats for when Edon and Carolyn came over. And I feel like the next couple clips just really summarize Linnea and Nick well. She wants to be affectionate, she feels uncomfortable, so she starts clowning around. And don't even get me started on this man. Look at him. What is this? Linnea, come get your man. He's acting crazy. He needs more attention. And look at us, we're so in the zone, we don't even notice.
Yeah, Nick, you could throw some tunes up on the TV.
Give us DJ
Let's
Big
hop
Booty.
in the ride and go do some- Wait, yeah, put on Big Booty. We could all take a shot and continue baking.
I love that. Let's do it.
Would you do it?
Sure.
Oh, yeah.
So on tonight's episode of What Are You Watching? It is a DJ who makes music from scratch, but the music is wildly inappropriate and not for children or families. If you're trying to make a fun little treat board, I highly recommend these. They're just pretzels, melted caramel, and apples. They were so delicious, easy to make. Everything was done within like 15 minutes. We also made a little charcuterie board and homemade pizza. And then our guests of honor arrived.
Let's go! Yeah.
Entertainment,
You're gonna have to pay for this normally.
Do a spin. He's a natural. He's a natural. Do a spin.
Oh my gosh!
That's moral.
Give us more. Give us a dance.
No, what's
Dance,
the-
monkey, dance!
What's the vlog about?
Dance, Derek! You're a monkey, Derek!
What's the vlog about?
I'm on my
Derek,
trip!
you're a monkey!
What?
I'm on my trip! I'm on my trip to see Linnea!
Like the school ones where you hold the fig tree. Yeah. You know? Did you do that?
Oh wait, is this the same people?
No.
You're part of that one.
Yeah, we just exchanged personal contact
Oh,
information.
let's go listen.
Although this scene is very intense because we were having a very in-depth conversation together, the rest of the night was incredibly fun. We had homemade pizza, and then we also played a game called Jackbox on the TV. If you have never played, I highly recommend, especially with the new year coming up if you're having a party. I was crying. I was laughing so hard. And of course we had a couple of drinks, and Carolyn and Edon are redoing their house, so we had to measure the toilet. We woke up the next morning and went out to the farmer's market. I went to the adorable French bakery for another chocolate croissant. And Nick went over to the beignet stand. And Nick and Linnea had been talking about this raw milk lady, so we went to go try the raw milk to see if it was still good, and it was surprisingly not that different from regular milk you'd get at a grocery store. Amanda, Linnea's sister, and her then fiance, now husband, Mike, were out of town during the weekend, so Nick went to go pick them up, and Linnea and I went to a place called Soul Grind. We had some coffee, we talked on the beach, and then we went up to a place called Maury Point, which is just a very beautiful lookout that we went to 2 years ago, and we revisited so that we could shoot some more content for the brand I was working with. We headed back, and then that evening we went to a place called Q-Pot. It is a Korean barbecue and a hot pot restaurant. So basically you just order everything you want, as much as you want of each item, and they bring it to your table, and then you grill up the food either on the Korean barbecue or like these noodles, you put them in the hot pot and they cook with the heat of the hot pot in front of you. It was extremely delicious and just an experience I've never really had before. I haven't even looked, now that I'm back in Minnesota, if I can find something like this here. But it's definitely an experience I'd love to revisit when I go back to California. That evening we watched a YouTuber called LA Beast, and basically he just does challenges. So this one, I think there were like 15 hot dogs he had to eat in a minute. You could tell this is a Nick choice, but it was entertaining nonetheless, but we did have to stop watching because he did throw up. Linnea had to take some meetings this day. This is an icebreaker where they asked what your ideal day was, and I kid you not, Linnea started with a 3-mile run, which in no one's world is a normal answer. We spent most of the day at the apartment, and that evening we finally grabbed our pumpkins and decided to start carving them. Upon watching this video back, who let us have these knives? We're literally children. It's not safe. We're basically asking to go to the emergency room watching this. But in Linnea's defense, this was her first time or second time doing this, so she really got into the experience, the sights, the smells, everything.
This is actually my second time doing this.
Like, really?
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Nick and I did it years. Didn't we do this years
I thought it
ago?
was hilarious.
Nick?
Amanda thought it was really, really fun
You're so cute. So like, respond to me. This is funny. Love that combo for us.
I see it. I see it now.
It's like literally he's gonna be bald in 4 years. I swear to God, I tell him so all the time.
It's okay, there's so many hair options now. He'll be okay. You can always get it to regrow.
Obama moved to Chicago in 1985.
Did he?
Nick, do you know that we've been talking about you for about 3 minutes?
Did you know I like literally addressed you like 4 times?
I'm watching the game over here.
It's not even on.
It's on my screen.
Yeah.
I should have been a doctor with my sister because this is not freaking me out one bit.
I mean, I kind of like it, like, now.
I think it's like the idea that I'm literally reaching into a hole that's kind of gross and like pulling things out. And I'm like, I could have been an OBGYN. For dinner that evening, we did make our pumpkin seeds, and then we also did a homemade Indian meal. And because it was Halloween time, we did watch The Office that night, the Halloween episode where Kelly tries to educate everybody on her culture, and it goes incredibly wrong. I wanted to end this video by talking about how grateful I am for a friend like Linnea. I know that a friendship like this is rare, one that spans from high school into adulthood, but it's even more than that I've discovered this year. She just is super caring. The friendship is always two-sided. She's so supportive, and she really just makes you feel loved and known. And I just hope that our friendship never fades.